Hi, and welcome to another presentation from your business tutor, learning your way, anytime, anywhere. A big part of the place element of the marketing mix is about making sure products are available in the right place at the right time. Now, although this sounds straightforward, in reality it is based upon the reliable distribution and delivery of raw materials and products. So with that in mind, let's turn to look at methods of distribution. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we're going to find out about the different methods of distribution, and then we're going to investigate the advantages and disadvantages of each of those methods. It has been mentioned before that the place element of the marketing mix is not just about where a product is sold, but also about how that product is delivered and distributed. In fact, given we now live in a globalised economy where raw materials and products are shipped from every corner of the planet, it can be seen how important effective distribution is to an organisation. So with that, let's turn to look at the methods of distribution a business can use by asking, what is distribution by road? Distribution by road is when products are delivered by a van or a lorry. A big advantage of this is that products can be delivered directly to a retailer's store or a customer's door, which is incredibly convenient and improves service. Better yet, as vans and lorries can be adapted to carry refrigerated items all the way through to liquids, it means that such distribution is very flexible in terms of what can be transported. Further still, couple this with the fact that distribution by road can occur 24 hours a day, and once again you can see the flexibility this method offers, as well as its capability to meet emergency orders. And finally, although there are petrol and insurance costs to pay, delivery by road is a relatively cheap form of distribution. Nevertheless, there are issues with distribution by road. For example, traffic jams can result in delivery delays, meaning shops may not get stocked in time. In fact, given drivers are only allowed to work a certain number of hours before they must legally take a break, it means delivering items by road over a long distance may take some time, especially when compared to distribution by air. And of course, distributing very bulky or heavy items is much harder to do by road than it is by sea or rail, as the maximum load weight on a lorry is much lower. Okay, let's turn to look at another method of distribution by asking, what is distribution by rail? Distribution by rail is when products are delivered by train. A big advantage of this, as was previously mentioned, is that using this method is particularly useful for bulky and heavy items, as trains have more space and can carry greater weight than a lorry. In fact, because trains can transport so many products at once, it means this method of distribution is cheap and cost effective, but also environmentally friendly, especially compared to air transportation. However, rail delivery does have issues. The first being that trains cannot distribute directly to a retailer store or a customer's door, meaning other forms of transportation such as lorries and vans are required to pick up inventory from stations and take them to shops. Further still, distribution by rail is subject to timetable restrictions, meaning that products can only be delivered at certain times, which makes this method inflexible as emergency orders would be difficult to fulfill. Okay, let's move on to our third method of distribution by asking, what is distribution by air? Distribution by air is when products are delivered by plane and in some circumstances a drone. Probably the biggest advantage of this method is that delivery is very quick, meaning it can be really useful for items that are perishable and have a limited shelf life, or products that are required as an emergency. In fact, this speed of delivery also means that air freight is particularly useful for international deliveries between continents. However, it does need to be remembered that air distribution is very expensive compared to other methods such as sea. Having said that, we are beginning to see that delivering products by drone is significantly reducing this cost. Another disadvantage of air delivery is that it is not very environmentally friendly and does cause quite a lot of pollution. However, as before, using drones is a game changer in this area as their environmental credentials are much more positive. And finally, as with trains, planes do not offer direct delivery, meaning vans will be required to forward products onwards from an airport to shops. However, as before, drones have somewhat turned this issue on its head, as they are capable of delivering directly to a customer or a shop. Okay, let's now move on by asking, what is distribution by sea? Distribution by sea is when products are delivered by boat, ship or tanker. In general, there are a number of big benefits of using this method. For example, items of all sizes and weights are easily transported by sea, in that large ships can carry heavy items such as hundreds of cars in one go, but also small items such as pencils and pens, as they can be transported together in containers with other products. This therefore makes distribution by sea incredibly versatile, as all manner of products can be delivered across the world, including liquids such as oil and items that require refrigeration such as meat. Better yet though, because ships can carry so many items, it means the cost of transporting products by sea is cheaper, but also more environmentally friendly than other methods, especially compared to air. In fact, this is probably why distribution by sea accounts for the majority of international freight carried across the planet. Nevertheless, transporting products by sea does have its issues. The first amongst them being that delivery by sea is slow, meaning the method would be inappropriate for products that are perishable or require emergency delivery. Furthermore, as with trains and planes, distribution by sea is unable to provide direct delivery, meaning vans will be required to forward products onwards from a seaport to shops. Okay, let's now turn to look at a couple of alternative methods of delivery by first asking, what is distribution by pipeline? Pipelines are generally used to deliver items such as liquids like oil and gases like methane. One of the main advantages of using pipelines is that delivery is often direct to a customer's door. For example, most houses have a pipeline that feeds water directly into their house, which makes it not only easy to access, but also offers a huge amount of convenience. However, although distributing liquids and gases in this way is very cheap, it does need to be remembered that setting up a network of pipelines is initially very expensive to do. Moreover, if a pipeline gets damaged, it can stop supply until repairs are made, which obviously would be inconvenient to a customer. Okay, let's move on to our final method of delivery by asking, what is digital or electronic distribution? Digital distribution is when products are delivered using a DVD or pen drive, or more commonly over the internet, and are used in areas such as media, education and finance. As you might expect, there are a number of big benefits in using digital distribution. First, the product can be delivered or streamed directly to a retailer store or a customer's door, which is incredibly convenient and enhances service. Even better though, digital delivery is not only a very cheap method of distribution, but also is very quick, meaning it is ideal for transferring items required urgently. This can be particularly useful when a product requires to be sent internationally, as this can be done immediately. However, digital distribution, especially over the internet, is dependent upon a reliable broadband internet connection. Otherwise, transfer may not be possible. Moreover, using this method only works for products that have been digitised. In other words, physical, tangible products like a can of baked beans cannot be transferred in this way. Okay, so what did we learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we found out about the different methods of distribution, and then we went on to investigate the advantages and disadvantages of each of those methods. Getting a product to the right place at the right time is vitally important to business success. In fact, many businesses such as Amazon have used their ability to do this effectively to gain significant competitive advantage. It is therefore essential that when formulating the place element of the marketing mix, that a business fully considers how best it can distribute its products.